We made it to the end of Last of Us Season 2, and a lot of people are saying Episode 6 is the best one, and I kind of agree. I think it had the most emotion, the most heart, and it's probably the best that we've seen Pedro Pascal as Joel. Hey, it was thunderstorming outside and there was like a tornado watch. So I got to get off work early. I get to make this video now. So it starts with Jesse and he's tending to Dina's arrow wound. It was funny. I seen some people who were like, I was watching some reactions and they were like, when did she get shot? Like, where did the arrow come from? And that's funny because in the last part, and like the last episode, I mentioned how when they were in the park with the scars and they like whistled and shot her in the leg and she didn't scream because she was just like, and I was like, why aren't you screaming? They know your location. They just shot you with an arrow. And she held in her scream. So that's why, if you didn't notice, or like if you didn't remember why she got shot, they were in the park with the scars and one of them whistled and shot her in the leg. But she didn't scream. So that's why, I'm sure that's why people didn't notice, because she had like no reaction. I mean, there was a whole dialogue where Jesse has to like pick her up and take her away and Ellie has to distract them, but in my opinion it was just a weird reaction. And then Jesse ends up pushes the arrow like through her leg instead of pulling it out, because he said that one of her arteries would have got ripped and she probably would have bled out. And he offers her some booze, you know, as you do, and she says no, and so that makes him a little suspicious for later. Ellie comes back and to the theater, and Jesse's asking where she's been since last night, and she just avoids the question and goes to see Dina. She ends up telling Dina what she was doing. She tells her about Nora. She got information from Abby, and she said that it was easier than she thought. I was skimming through the episode. I couldn't remember what she said. It was like Nora said like whale something. It was like 2 words and one of them was whale. Going through and I couldn't find it again. That's what she gets from her, is these 2 words, but she doesn't know what it means until later. Dina gives Ellie a good luck bracelet before Ellie and Jesse go out to find Tommy, because he's still out there somewhere. Right now they think he's at the bookstore because that's the rendezvous point that him and Jesse agreed on. So that's where they're heading. And on the way there, Jesse is like questioning Ellie about Dina and like, like what they've got going on, and he's like asking her all these things, and she like accidentally reveals that Dina is pregnant and that she hadn't told him. Well, at least she couldn't tell him because they were not, they were out doing their revenge quest. And now that Tommy found out that he's going to be a dad, he has even more reason to get out of there. But as we know, doesn't, which sucks that they had to kill off Jesse. He was a good character. He's probably like one of the more level-headed characters. But again, that's what makes it more devastating, especially just after he found out he was going to be a dad. And the way he dies was just so quick. It was just, okay, so just jumping to the end. They go back to the theater. Abby shows up. She's got Tommy pinned down, and then Jesse and Ellie run in, and she pops Jesse instantly. Like, she instantly just shoots him dead in the face, like right in the eye, and he falls over. She has Tommy at gunpoint, and Ellie's trying to convince her not to shoot him, and she pulls a gun on her, and we hear a gunshot, but it cuts to black, so we don't know who did it. I have 3 theories. It's either Dina, because Dina was nowhere to be seen in this part, so either Dina shoots Abby, or like shoots her hand or something to make her drop the gun. Tommy, while Abby's distracted, somehow grabs something and uses it. And 3, Jesse isn't dead because he got shot in the eye, but maybe it missed his brain or something. I don't know, something. Maybe he's still alive and he gets a shot off. But those are my 3 theories. Ellie picks up a distress call on the radio she has about a sniper firing on some wolves and pinning them down, and Jesse says that it's probably Tommy, so they go investigate that. They go to like the top floor and they're like looking out. The side of the building is like destroyed, and they're like scouting the area. And while they're doing that, Ellie has a realization that what Nora said, she means the aquarium. So she's like, oh shit, Abby is at the aquarium, so I have to go there. Jesse's obviously against it. He tells her that he said no when it came to voting to send out a team to go get revenge for Joel. Eventually, the 2 of them talk it out, and they agree to, go their both ways. And so Ellie goes to do her thing. Jesse continues to go look for Tommy. And this boat scene you're going to hear this too, is like the boat scene is ridiculous. She hijacks a boat from this dock. Well, first she sees a group of wolves with Isaac. They're getting onto these like stealth boats to go raid the Scar Island. That you see that later because Ellie steals one of the boats. She's riding over there. One of the big waves knocks her off, obviously. She wakes up on this like beach. Her boat is conveniently there with her. And then she gets kidnapped by the Scars. And they're about to do like the hanging and gutting thing, but then you hear like a war horn go off, and that's when the wolves, you don't see it, but the wolves they start raiding their base. So they just let Ellie go. They run off, they let Ellie go, You know, you think they just do a quick like, you know, quick little execution, but they didn't. And yeah, within like a minute, Ellie's back in her boat on the way back to the aquarium, and I was like, that was just like a throwaway scene. I don't know if it was like we needed a few more minutes of this episode. We needed to remind everyone about these people, or for people to be like, oh man, I wonder what happened with that. Like, to be honest, I really don't care. But I'm guessing that's what season 3 is supposed to do, because season 3 is going to focus on Abby. Like, so the 3 days in Seattle that Dina and Ellie were doing, we're going to see that through Abby's eyes for season 3. And Ellie's at the aquarium. She runs into Owen and Mel, who are arguably probably the 2 nicer people in the group. They even bring that up. You know, Owen's like, you know, I'm the reason that they didn't kill you. But she has him at gunpoint. She has this revolver that she found, and she's pointing it at him, and Owen just, you know, pulls a fast one. He tries to grab his gun, but Ellie shoots him, kills him. He falls over, and you see Mel has a hole just going through her throat. She falls over, so she hit the collateral on him. She goes over to Mel. We see that she's pregnant, and she's like, this. At first, the scene was kind of confusing me. I was like, what is going on? I noticed that in a lot of the reactions, but again, they really kind of were hiding that she was pregnant. At least I think they were. But then again, when you see her on the ground, oh, she is pregnant. And she's like telling Ellie she needs to do like a C-section, like cut it open and take it out. But Ellie's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But Mel dies and it's too late anyway. Ellie's messed up over it, having shot a pregnant woman, having one of in her own life. She's distraught. And then Tommy and Jesse show up again, and Tommy tries to comfort her, and they go back to the theater. And that's when, you know, the Abby stuff happens and Jesse dies, and at the end we see Abby going. The ending scene didn't feel like the game. I have seen some footage of like the second game. It did feel like when Abby wakes up and they're like, hey, we have to go see Isaac, and she's like walking through the hallway and she like walks out to like the whole like stadium area. It did look very cinematic in like a video game way, in like a good way though. Like it felt very video gamey in like the way they shot it, but not like in a corny way. It actually felt pretty cool. Overall, I'd probably give this season a 3.9 out of 5. I can't quite get it to 4 because again, I do agree some of the writing wasn't very good. Some of the pacing wasn't very good. Some of the stuff was definitely rushed because they had the idea to make this, you know, split this up into 2 seasons. They could have easily made this season like 10 episodes and just added on Abby's arc at the end, maybe. But we'll see after the next season comes out. By the end of that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense why they did it like that. But I mean, again, 3.9 ain't bad. I enjoy the show. Probably more so than a lot of people. I do see a lot of hate for this season. I understand all the criticisms. I don't understand all the like hate, again, like I said before, for Bella Ramsey, because a lot of people, when they bring her up, they just talk about how she looks, which is messed up. And they're like, oh, why do you always, like, you know, why you always bring that up? And it's like, because as someone who's dealt with that in my own life, it's, you know, messed up to see people doing that to someone, you know, and like degrading an entire show and like person just because of it. Valid criticisms are fine. Being an asshole is not. Anywho, let me know down below. Have y'all watched the whole season? Did you like the whole season? Did you not watch the show at all? Have you just been watching spoiler reviews? Which, if you do that, that's awesome as well. Let me know what you thought about the season. Give me your rating. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Peace.